Hey guys, it's Marley. I am checking in from, VLCD3, I guess. And I am losing it. I've had a crazy couple days. So, typical life stuff going on. Hold on, my TV is... Okay, first things first, I'm down to 174.8, and, so that means I had a 1.6 pound release last night, so that's good, and what I noticed was, even though I was a little bit bummed yesterday, or I thought I was a little bit bummed yesterday about the 0.6 pound release, because it wasn't that big for a first day, what I realized is I think it's mainly just that my first round, and even this past round, I was so wound up about my losses. Like, every time I got on the scale, I was like, looking at the number and then doing these mental calculations, like, okay, how many pounds down is that, and blah, blah, blah. This time I'm just kind of passive toward the number, and so I don't know if I was really bummed about the fact that I was only down 0.6, or I was just kind of not super thrilled and took it as being bummed, because this morning, even though I had a 1.6 pound release, I was just kind of like, okay, like, not like doing, backflips or anything. But I'm actually really surprised about that release, because I had a small binge last night, and it was the result of just a really crazy day, and I just kind of used food to comfort. I know that I've talked to you guys about how I was expecting a work trip. I had a work trip to Belize on April 1st that I've been planning for like 5 months now, I found out yesterday morning that I actually am not going to be going to Belize because of budgeting issues, and so that really sucks, and I was really bummed all day about that, especially because now that I'm not going, all of the paperwork that I have gotten done for this trip, like literally 5 months of paperwork, is now needing to be adjusted to reflect the changes in personnel that are going, and that has to be done by next week. 5 months of paperwork needs to be revised by Monday. So I'm kind of freaking out. Then my boss went to the ER because he thought he was having a stroke. And everybody else thought he was having a stroke. And he's had a stroke in the past, and he had all of these symptoms of a stroke, and he ended up in the ER yesterday afternoon, and had all these tests being done on him, and turns out he apparently wasn't having a stroke, but he does have some kind of very rare genetic disease that causes him to have these really extreme migraines, and so he's been in the hospital. So I had to go to the hospital and take him a bunch of crap, because of course he's insisting on working even though he thought he was having a stroke. It was just a little out of control. Yesterday was a little bit out of control, and last night I was just like, you know what? My girlfriends are going to a Mexican restaurant, and they're going to have beer, and I'm going. And I went, and I had a beer, and I had some chips and cheese, and had a little binge, and just kind of cut loose, and just was like, I need to just, my brain is just a little on overload. So I was really actually surprised by that huge release this morning, But anyway, today I didn't even really eat lunch because I was at the hospital and at my office doing a bunch of catch-up work, And so all I've had is like a lot of coffee. And I don't even drink coffee, so if you're wondering why I look kind of wired, it's probably because my brain is on overdrive and I have been drinking a lot of coffee. So yeah, that's what's going on in my neck of the woods. So I think I have a steak in my fridge that my parents brought over. And I think I'm going to have it for dinner because I haven't really had anything all day. And I know that you don't really do steak days on P2 and it's not really on the protocol and it's a correction day and I don't really need a correction day. But it's just like, I'm just going to have it for dinner because it's like a lot of protein and I kind of missed lunch and I'm just thinking, you know, probably need a good bit of protein tonight. So I'm going to have a steak and tomato and just kind of see what happens tomorrow. I'm not going to sweat it. I've got, you know, I've just got to roll with it right now. What are you going to do? Shit happens. It's just life. So I'm also kind of pissed because the only reason that I took that week-long planned interruption and got back on P2 so fast was because I needed to be on P3, like well into P3, by April 1st when I went to Belize. And now I'm not going to Belize, so I could have taken a full 3-week P3, which is probably what I needed physically and mentally. But I, of course, have already loaded and started round 2.5. And I'm not going to scrap it. I've already loaded and, you know, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's just life, you know, is a bitch sometimes. So I hope everybody's doing great. I'm going to be watching vlogs tonight because I need to think about something other than work. And I'm going to watch vlogs and watch Reno 911 and just have some steak. And that's what I'm doing tonight. So I might check in tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to weigh tomorrow or not. You know, I'll just cross that bridge when I get to it. So I hope everybody's having a great week. Happy hump day. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.